Hello again YouTube, and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. And on today's video I've been set an interesting question. Could I please go through the different options for owning a new Tesla? What are the finance options? How do they compare? How do they work? Well, all I can say, Rob, is great question. Let's go at it. What's the best way for you to just get a Tesla? And the good news is that because Tesla isn't Mercedes-Benz, there aren't 14 different models and 300 different options that we need to choose from. In the UK in 2025, Tesla only sell 2 cars, and the choices are predominantly what colour do you want the outside, what colour do you want the inside, and how far and how fast do you want it to go. So there's not lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of different trim options to consider. But to make things really simple, we are going to configure my car, because this is my car and it's my video and it's my channel, so that's what we're going to do. And this is a 2025 Juniper Model Y all-wheel drive long range. It's in deep metallic blue, which looks fabulous, and I've got enhanced autopilot. Everything to do with Tesla is done online. So if you want to order a Tesla, you go on to the Tesla website, and the first thing that you have to do, of course, is to configure the car. Well, we've just done that. The second one is how is Sir or Madam planning to pay for it, and this is the bit where it becomes a question of choice. The obvious one is cash. If you've got the money already sat there, and with interest rates not particularly exciting anymore, then pay them cash. The deposit is the same, £200 to hold the vehicle, and then you will have to pay Tesla the cash price before they will hand over the key card to you. And at the moment in the UK, as I'm recording this, the cash price for this car is £56,690. If you haven't got that amount of cash, or you don't want to spend all of it up front, then we're into finance. You can rent the car or you can purchase the car. The first one we'll talk about is hire purchase, the traditional way of putting a car on finance. So Tesla are suggesting a £10,000 deposit, but there is good news, because at the moment there is a £2,000 Tesla deposit allowance that's given on any finance deal that you put in. So they will give you £2,000 of that deposit, and then there is 0% finance on hire purchase, on PCP, on whatever you're doing, right? So those are two things which added together will save an awful lot of money. So let's do the HP example, and again, everything is 3 years and 10,000 miles per year on that deal. So a £10,000 deposit, of which £8,000 is from you and £2,000 is from Tesla. There's then 36 monthly payments of £1,297, which is a lot. But at the end of those 3 years, you have paid £54,692 and you own the vehicle outright. So it's yours at the end of those 3 years. Although, let's be honest, you paid quite a lot of cash. The other, probably more popular way now to put a car on finance is a PCP deal, where you pay a deposit, you pay part of the payments, and then there is the guaranteed future value at the end of the deal, and you have to pay that as a balloon payment. So for the PCP, once again, you've got a £2,000 deposit allowance from Tesla. You have got 0% finance. And by the way, this is on the Model 3 as well as the Model Y at the time I'm recording this. I guarantee nothing about whichever point it is in the future or when you're watching this. But as I'm recording this, 0% and a £2,000 deposit allowance, both of which are good. So on a PCP, on this Model Y, Tesla is suggesting a slightly larger deposit of £10,233, and then 36 monthly payments of £583, which adds up to £20,988 on the monthly payments, and of course then a balloon payment which is left of £25,842. So at the point you get to the 36 months, you have paid £29,221, which is 53% of the total cost. You've still got the £25,842 balloon payment to pay off, which is 46% of the vehicle. And the good news is that I've done a bit of research on Auto Trader and had a look at 3-year-old cars of around 30,000 miles that are all-wheel drive, and actually 26 grandish is about the right money for the car. So there's plenty of vehicles on there for 25, 26, somewhere around that. So as a valuation of what the car is going to be worth on 3 years, it's about right. You can make your own decisions about whether depreciating from 56,690 as a purchase price down to 25,842 in 3 years and 30,000 miles, is that good or is that bad? I don't really have an opinion at this point. It's a new car, it loses money. But you still have got to pay £25,842 if you then want to complete the purchase of the car. You've basically got a few choices at this point. You can hand the vehicle back, and providing that you haven't gone over miles and you haven't crashed it or done anything else, you don't owe anything else. You can trade it in against a new one, and they will look at the value of the car and they will give you a quote, and then you either have all of the finance paid off or you have to clear the rest of it yourself. Or you can pay them the money. Simply find the money, borrow the money, it's under your mattress, wherever you're going to get it from, 25,842, the car is yours. So that again is how you could choose to buy the car across 3 years, where you've not paid for the whole thing in 3 years like you do on HP, and you've still got some options. The other way, of course, that you can get a new car these days is hire. You can hire the vehicle, a personal contract hire agreement where you're only ever paying a monthly rental for the car, you never actually own it. So again, 3 years, 30,000 miles in total, 10,000 miles a year, and we're going to go and put the numbers into the Tesla configurator, and it's suggesting 12 months deposit and then 36 months because it's a 3-year deal. So the 12-month deposit is £7,965 that you have to pay up front, and then you have 36 payments of £647 to make, which is £23,292. So at the end of the 3 years, you've paid £31,257. You don't have to be a maths genius to understand that £31,257 is a bigger number than £29,221, which is what you would have paid at the exact same point if you were on a PCP deal. With the current finance deals, you will have paid 7% more on a leasing deal than you would have done on a PCP deal. And at the end of that, having paid 7% more, you have no options. The car is not yours, was never yours, is not going to be yours. You have to hand the key card back, and some guy will wander around the car and will tut and make some notes on a clipboard and then drive the thing away, and then you may or may not get a bill for whatever it is that they're unhappy about. So if I had to make a choice between leasing the car, personal contract hire, or buying the car on a PCP, I would be looking to buy it because you're paying less and you've got more choices. And that seems like a pretty good deal. That is based on the current £2,000 deposit allowance and 0% finance. In the past, where finance wasn't 0% and they weren't giving you the deposit allowance, the math swings back the other way. So as always with these things, do your own research, and especially if you're not in the UK. Hi, there's a lot of you who aren't in the UK, I know. Check your own deals. There's different finance deals, there's different calculations, but in essence, here in the UK for this car at the moment, I think the sweet spot if you're buying personally is a PCP.
This video is brought to you by 3W car mats, and what I absolutely love about these mats is the design, the quality, and all of the innovative features that's been added into them. These truly are the best set of mats I've ever had on any car that I've had. The really clever thing for me is that not only are these TPE so that they can be literally sprayed clean and all of the dirt falls off, but they've also then got these really high quality carpet inserts. So you can choose to have the carpet inserts in or out. It depends on what your use is. As they say in life, you get what you pay for, and oh boy, you do get a lot with these 3W mats. So if you want to get these with a healthy discount, then please check the link below. Use my referral code. It really helps the channel and improve your Tesla with 3W.
So, the other way to get a car, if, like me, you've got a company, the other thing that you can do is stick the car through your business, and I do that. I've got several businesses, and this car is a business asset of my primary business. as the previous car was. So you are still offered the same choices. Would you like leasing? So would you like contract hire? Would you like to pay cash? Have you got lots of cash that's just sat there burning a hole? Would you like to take finance? So a PCP or hire purchase. It's just that it then becomes a business PCP and business hire purchase. The important piece is if you're buying cash or you're on a PCP deal where basically you are going to own the vehicle as a business, then you are able to offset the entire purchase cost against your corporation tax bill in that year. It's the first year allowance if you've got an EV. And that is extremely tax beneficial if you can do that. But as always, ask an accountant, not an accountant. The other option, of course, is to lease the vehicle. And leasing is hugely popular for an awful lot of businesses. It's not just the company that you own that's leasing. If you look at a lot of the salary sacrifice deals or deals through your employer, most of the time they're going to be leasing the vehicle. And the pricing for them, with them doing a lease versus an individual going in and leasing the vehicle on a PCH deal, is basically nothing. So there's a little bit of rounding because now they're giving you the pricing ex VAT, but that's all there is. If you're a business and you're leasing an EV, then you can claim half of the VAT back if the car is going to be used for personal use as well as business use. Half the VAT, not all of the VAT. So if you're doing your calculations, again, it's something else to consider. But again, not an accountant. So please do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Ask somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So you've had a look at which Tesla that you want. You've decided it's my Tesla, and you've gone in and you've chosen your personal choice for how you're going to pay for the vehicle. You then place a deposit, you make a card payment basically on the website that secures your reservation. You then have a reservation number, RN, and then a string of numbers, and then they will match your reservation against a vehicle that probably has already been made and is either in the UK or is on its way in to the UK. You then have to download the Tesla app, and everything else that you do is then in the app, and that is literally all of your details, all of the finance stuff that you need to do, because if you're applying for finance, and you probably are, but if you're applying for finance, then you've got to go through all of that rigmarole as well, and everything is on the app. But what's more, all of the updates as to when you're going to get the car are on the app. I don't know about you guys, but buying a car can be a bit of a, I don't want to say traumatic experience, but certainly it's not the most pleasant thing that you do in your life, because you think, am I going to get ripped off? And my experience of car dealerships, and frankly, the bigger the brand, the more the sense of rip-off gets. My experience isn't great. I am good at negotiating. I negotiate contracts for a living, amongst other things. So I know how to negotiate, but even I find myself having to try and second and third and fourth guess the kind of stunts that they're pulling when you're going out there and trying to buy a car. At one point, I actually had the dealer principal come out wanting to meet me because I'd done a deal on the phone with one of his sales team, and he said, I want to see the person who's done this deal. And I was like, hi, it's me. And we're looking at the paperwork, and he points to the number at the bottom and he says, I really do not like that number. And I looked up at him and said, well, don't sell me the car then. You don't have to sell me the car. If you don't want the deal, don't take it. And he said, no, I am going to sell you the car, but I just wanted you to know that I'm not happy. And I'm like, mate, this is a transaction, okay? I'm buying a car from you now, and if I like you and I like the car, I might come back and buy another one again. Why are you coming out and almost telling me off for being a good negotiator? But you get none of that with Tesla because it's all online. They're not on commission, and while they really want you to buy the car, honestly, they don't care. They are not under pressure. They don't have sales targets as a team. Just put the details in, tell them what you want, and then a car turns up. Personally, I really like that. I know some people complain in the comments that the Tesla buying experience isn't as nice as the fancy Dan dealerships where they're biting out of your wallet, whatever. If that's what you want, go and buy a Mercedes. Anyway, I hope this has been useful for you. It's certainly been interesting to me to actually sit here with the laptop running the numbers. But tell me what you think, what your buying experience has been like. Tell me what the worst buying experience has been, where you've gone through a traditional car manufacturer, one of the legacy car manufacturers like Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Nissan. You've done all of them, right? Tell me what that experience was like, and then tell me why Tesla was better. Because I think this is the reassurance that the people who haven't yet got into Tesla need. Buying a Tesla, not only is it a great car, and at the moment it's a great deal, but the process is a doddle. And that, I think, is a nice place to close this. Please like and subscribe, share the video for the people who are thinking about just getting a Tesla and they're not quite sure what to do. Share the video to them. And I will see you all back here very soon on Just Get a Tesla.